Hey, what is up guys? My name is Oleg, this is Bond. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to review Zelos Horizon GMT. It's one of the most anticipated watches for this year for me personally. This watch right here at the Phoebus Great Wall were the two watches that I was waiting for the most after they got announced. So I'm really happy and excited and lucky to have a chance to review one of these watches. Now before we get started with the review, I gotta tell you something. This watch right here was provided by Zelos for the review, and I get to keep the watch, so I don't have to send it back. Of course, any watch that is provided for the review that I get to keep after the review does not affect the review in any way, but I want to be completely transparent. With that out of the way, let's get started. Let's look at the case dimensions first. The watch has a 40mm diameter, it has a lug-to-lug width of 44.5mm, it has a lug width of 20mm, and it is 13.5mm thick. And here's what the watch looks like on my 7.25-inch wrist. I really like that 40mm diameter on the size of my wrist. I think that looks great. This one is a bit thick, 13.5mm, but I think overall it wears really well and it's super comfortable to wear. This Zelos Horizon GMT is in a stainless steel case with a brushed finish on top and on the sides. It has a bit of a chamfering on the lugs that goes along the side of the case. It also has a polished finish on the inside of the lugs. Kind of an interesting choice, and I quite like that because when the light catches it the right way, it really reflects the light really well. The finishes on this watch are spectacular. I can't fault them for the finishes. I really like what they've done with this watch. It's not overly complicated. It doesn't have too many contrasting finishes. It doesn't have bead blasting and sandblasting and polished and brushed, but just what they were able to achieve with polished and brushed finish, and the contrast between the two looks really good. Now I should mention that this watch is available in a few different color combinations. Obviously for this review I have the blue dial, blue bezel version. There's also a meteorite dial available, and in a week or two Zelos will also introduce a bronze case version. If you were looking for a suggestion from me, I would suggest to go for this stainless steel version. Maybe not this specific color, choose the color that you like, but do go for the stainless steel version. I prefer stainless steel watches over bronze watches, and I think with this design, stainless steel looks really classy. The crown is at the 3 o'clock position. It is a screw down crown, giving this watch 200 meters of water resistance. The thread on the crown and the grip on the crown are really well done. It is a sand crown with the Zelos logo. Really like the look of this crown. I like the fact that it doesn't have any crown guards. Kind of gives you a vintage vibe almost to this watch. Now the movement that the crown is operating is a ETA 2893 movement. Obviously it's a GMT movement with 21 joules, beats at 28,800 beats per hour, and has a power reserve of 50 hours. If you look through the transparent case back, you can really see how beautiful this movement is. Even has a custom rotor with the world map on it. I really like the look of this movement and the look of this rotor. The movement in mine has been very accurate. I'm getting minus 1.5 seconds per day. The case back is fairly simple. It's a display case back, obviously screw down. Again, helping with the 200 meters of water resistance. Some writing on the back, stainless steel. These are limited production numbers, so I have 114 out of 120. Zelos GMT, the movement, and sapphire crystal. So this watch does have a sapphire sandwich, so to speak. The crystal at the back is sapphire, and the crystal at the front is sapphire. Also, the sapphire crystal at the front has a nice dome to it and is housed really tightly with this bezel. There is no gap between the bezel and the crystal. Speaking of the bezel insert is sapphire as well. It's a bi-directional 60-click GMT style bezel. I really like the look of this one. It looks interesting, it looks unique, it plays with the light really well and complements the overall design of the watch really well. The bezel action is good, it's firm, it has the right amount of resistance, absolutely no backplay at all. It's kind of weird actually experiencing a bi-directional bezel that's 60-click. You have to get used to it, but the bezel itself is really well done. Something that's also really well done is this dial. I really like this dial. The attention to detail is great. Just look at the date window by the 6 o'clock position. As you can see, obviously the font is in white, but you will also see that the date wheel is color matched to the color of the dial. It's integrated seamlessly. This type of attention to detail is what I like to see in micro brand watches. I also really like the applied indices. The 3, the 9, and the 12 are these triangles. They're kind of bold to make them stand out a little bit more. There is some depth to this dial. Each one of the hour marks has a recess. There's also a running minute track, and there's a running 24-hour track on the side. So you could technically track 3 time zones, not 2 time zones. You could track the time zone indicated on the dial, and you could also set the GMT bezel to a 3rd time zone if you wanted to. So that's kind of cool. The attention to detail continues to the set of hands that we get. So look at the seconds hand. It reaches all the way out to and past the minute running track. The same thing with the GMT hand. It reaches all the way out to the outer edges, and the same thing with the minute hand. The hour hand just touches those hour marks, so it's incredibly easy to tell what time it is. And again, that's what I love to see from micro brands like Zelos, this attention to detail. You can tell that they have thought about and measured everything precisely, so it fits just right. The hands, the hour indices, and even the little triangle on the bezel are loomed. Let me pop a loom shot on the screen right now. As you can see, the loom is excellent, but we don't expect anything less than excellent from loom on Zelos watches. The watch is priced at $650. That's the launch price. The prices will increase on May 19th to $850, but something tells me that a lot of these models will sell out before that actually happens. I currently have the watch on this suede strap from Cheap NATO Straps. I think I paid like $10 or $15 for this strap, and I think it looks really nicely with the overall design of this watch. The watch originally came with a Tropic rubber strap and a excellent leather strap. However, I think either one of those straps doesn't look as good as this suede strap that I currently have it on. What do you guys think? I think on this suede strap it looks the best. Something that I should mention is that Zelos is actually working on a stainless steel bracelet for this watch, so that should be available in about 2 to 3 months from now. And believe me, I'll be the first in line to buy one of these bracelets, because my only real negative with the watch is the fact that it doesn't come on a stainless steel bracelet. I personally am a huge bracelet fan. I love watches on bracelets, so if this watch came on a bracelet right off the box, it would be a perfect watch. Right now, obviously have to buy the bracelet separately, and as I said, I'll be the first in line to do that. Overall, I really like this watch. I love the design of this watch. I think a lot of times it's understated and it's underappreciated how hard it is to actually do an original design that looks good. There have been so many watches that are already done, so many designs of watches. It's very easy to do an homage or to copy a different watch, but it's hard to come up with your own original design that looks good and that functions well. So I really gotta applaud Zelos on this watch, and it's been one of my favorite watches that I reviewed so far. Big words, big claims, I know, but I just like this watch that much. So definitely worth the wait, and definitely worth being that one of the top anticipated watches for 2019. Zelos did not disappoint. I appreciate you watching this video until the end. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about the Zelos Horizon GMT. By the way, today on my wrist, I'm wearing an Oris Aquos 43mm. I purchased this watch recently. I did the story behind the purchase. I still haven't done a review. That's coming soon. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss that video. Also, in the description of this video, there is a secret link. Have a look if you're curious. Thanks for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.